All right, hello. I'm Dr. Jones, and I work for a pharmaceutical company. I'm here today because I need 3,000 oranges that a Mr. Cardoza has for sale to create more of a serum that my company has already produced.
Hello, I am Dr. Roland. I work for a pharmaceutical company as well. I'm here today because I also need the 3,000 oranges Mr. Cardoza has for sale to create a serum as well. We're both here today to discuss the ugly orange shortage and the fact that we both could use the oranges Mr. Cardoza has for sale.
We have been here before at the table. We both realize that this can lead to attorneys and litigation. So we've agreed to come together to find a solution for both of us. We are aware that this is time sensitive for both of our issues, and we'd like to start a discussion as to what the need of the oranges is and how we can go from there.
And I agree. I agree that we're both here today because we both need the oranges to save lives at my sake. And several of the lives could endure serious brain injuries if I do not get the serum that I need. I have 2 weeks to create the serum because of a strict deadline, and without the resources, the lives can be lost. I need the whole 3,000 oranges to create the serum, and any less would actually sacrifice some of the lives.
Okay, Dr. Rowland, I hear you and your need for the oranges, and I hope we can come up with an agreement where you can save those lives, and I also can save the lives of the clients and the people that I'm working with. I'm sure you've heard about the news with rhodopsin, the disease that's contracted by pregnant women. My company has developed a serum that does no harm to the pregnant women and has no side effects. The recent outbreak has affected several thousand women, and the 3,000 oranges are needed to produce more serum, which could prevent brain, eye, and ear damage to unborn children. With the oranges, enough serum can be made to cure all the present victims and provide inoculations for other pregnant women. This could be a huge success with these oranges.
And I hear what you're saying, and I appreciate the work that you do with these women and their children. And I appreciate all the work that you've ever done in the past to help people around the world. And I think that we can come up with a solution today that works towards both of our goals in this matter. It sounds like both of us could benefit from using these oranges. I think that we could come up with a common solution.
Okay, so I need it for pregnant women, and you need it for the possible deaths of thousands of people. I know we are both in dire need of this fruit to save lives, and I can agree that we need to set aside any personal emotion, past history, or any other issues and come up with a solution for both of us to help save the lives of everyone, including unborn children.
And I agree with that as well, Dr. Jones. The issue that we have here to discuss today is serious because lives are at stake. And we're not here to talk about the fruit itself, if you agree so. So let's keep in mind to focus on our end goals, which are to save the lives and help the children. We both are aware that both of our positions are to create good in the world. And I think that we can work together here to find a solution to save all the lives at stake. I want to hear what you have in mind to help resolve your situation, because I agree that your lives at stake are just as important as mine. And I want to hear what we can come up with for a solution.
Okay, well, I feel like since we both agree, we should start making suggestions of how we can resolve both of our issues. One suggestion that I have is just to let me buy all the oranges. Let my company buy the oranges because we do know that it will make a cure for this disease, that we've already started a serum that we know works, and that we know with the benefit of these oranges, we can make more serum. And with that, we have the patent and the research that's been done. And possibly you could find other sources to create your serum. So my first suggestion is to let my company buy the oranges and continue to create the serum that we know works.
Okay. I can see where you would come up with that solution. However, I do think that there are alternative solutions that would possibly work better. What if I let you buy some of the oranges and then in turn provide me with your serum at no cost?
Well, that's an offer. It really wouldn't be a feasible offer for us or an option because we need the serum to save the lives. Making that serum is a huge undertaking. The oranges are the largest part of that. The what we get from the oranges, it creates the serum. Um, so if we only get some of the oranges, it wouldn't provide enough. And because we have the patent for the serum, it means that we can profit from it later as well. So if we only purchase half, not only will we be losing lives, then we would be losing money by providing serum that we didn't get the profit from, then we could not continue our research. So that does not feel like, it feels like a lose-lose situation. So I think we should explore some other options.
Okay.
Let's some more.
Okay, I agree. Well, what about if you took half of the oranges to create the rest of your serum, which hopefully would be enough, and then I take the other half and work around with possibly experimenting with my company, and we could see if we could both create the serums that we need to be able to help prevent the harm to the unborn children, and I would have possibly enough to make the serum that would prevent any deaths. But as my company has stated before, we do need all of the oranges, so this may not work for us. So I don't think that actually is a good idea. And it looks like we need to keep brainstorming. So let's keep working on
Okay,
some
so
more ideas.
we already know that the serum that we have created prevents damage to the unborn children. It's no longer an experiment. It is the juices of these oranges. It is a critical ingredient. Um, for us, the juices from the oranges is the critical ingredient for a serum we already knows works. What specifically do you need the oranges for?
The research that we have done recently from my company indicates that we need the rind of the orange to make enough of the serum to prevent thousands of deaths. So essentially, we only need the outside of the orange.
So you only need the rind?
And yeah, and it sounds like you only need the juice of the orange, correct?
Correct. The juice is what we use for our serum.
Okay, and you just need to extract the juice, and that part contributes to your serum, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Well, I think I have an idea since it sounds like you only need the juice from the orange and I need the rind from the orange, which are two separate parts that we can both use. It sounds like we can work together in this situation to come up with the best possible solution for both of us. And might I
That,
say, I'm glad that we could set aside our emotional differences in this because it sounds like both of us are doing great work and we're trying to prevent natural disasters and horrible things that could happen. So thank you for working with me today.
well, I think that actually sounds like a great idea now that we've realized that my company needs the juice and your company needs the rind. I believe we could come to an agreement.
Absolutely. So let's talk about what we can do and come up with an agreement where you get your resources for your serum and I get my resources for my serum because I can tell now that our serums are probably not the same as they're being used for different things, as yours are being used to prevent harm to unborn children and mine are being used for lives that are at stake. So, what if we split the cost of the oranges that are the 3,000 oranges that are only left in the world? So, it looks like we have to, this is kind of a dire need. And you get the juice from the orange and I get the rind from the orange. I would use the rinds first and then you can get the juice immediately after because I need it now as I only have a 2-week deadline. And you need it, you said, within 4 weeks, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And you also said that you've been working on it for 6 months?
We have been working on it for some time and we have used it and it has had positive results with the studies that we have done.
Okay. So your serum has already been proven to work. So that means it probably wouldn't need much time to be created. So then after I use it, we would be able to give you 2 weeks out of your 4-week deadline for you to make your serum. Does that sound okay?
Yes, it sounds like as long as we can preserve the continuity of the orange for the juice, as long as the taking of the rind doesn't destroy the orange or the juice, it sounds like we could make a deal.
Yeah, and I'm sure my company would definitely go through the process of how we would do that. And maybe we can collaborate and talk to our companies of how you preserve your juices whenever you extract them. We can use the same, and then we can go from there. So I believe that I can propose that I buy the oranges for $250,000, and I agree to extract the juice for you, to use the rind for my serum, and then I will ship the juice in special shipping containers or whatever we come up with between our two companies to preserve the medical qualities for the juice for an extra $20,000 extra for the split cost. Does that sound fair to you? $20,000 for extracting the juice and shipping it to you within special containers and taking extra measured precautions.
So let me make sure I understand the proposal. My company will not bid or pay for the oranges. The $250,000 bid will come from your company. But in turn, our company will pay $145,000 for the juice, for the serum, and we'll have 2 weeks to create that, just like you. So this would reduce the cost of my highest bid, and the product would be ready for use when it arrives for me because you have already extracted the juice. This means we do not have to submit a bid, and there's no competition for the oranges because I will directly buy my portion of the oranges from your company rather than Mr. Cordoza. So that will take away the competition of the bid. And does that sound right? $145,000 would be the payment for the juice that we're getting and the shipping and the time that you spend extracting it. Is that what I'm hearing correctly?
Yes, that is correct. So, therefore, I will pay the $250,000 for the oranges with no competing bid because I think this is the best option for all of the past issues that we've had before, but it looks like we're resolving them now. And I will charge $20,000 extra dollars for the juicing above the split cost for you, where I preserve the oranges and the juice after we extract it, and then we ship it to you. This makes my company's total cost for the oranges and our serum at $105,000, which is less than half of our original bidding price for my company. And this way, we also avoid another lawsuit, and more importantly, we're going to save lives together. And I also think that it's important to note that this will only be essentially 2 transactions without litigation or lawyers or anything else that could make the situation difficult, and that way there's no competition. And we both get what we need out of this. Does that sound right, Dr. Jones?
It does sound like if all this works out well, perhaps it will give us an opportunity to have worked together rather than to be separate entities. As long as we can preserve the juice, it sounds like we can make a deal. We could eventually form a better, healthy working relationship if this comes to be a good collaboration. It seems like we both work for good in the world, and it could make a powerful merger of sources in the future. We may have just solved 2 world problems.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree. And I'm very happy that we can come to this solution where I can save thousands of lives and you can help prevent unborn children damage to their brain.
What we can do about putting this in writing.